Yo, welcome to B-Boy Tech Report. This evening we are talking about the Keylab 88. As you can see here to my side, this is the Keylab 88. And so I want to show you a little bit about the pads, the controllerism. You know what I mean? It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 faders, and it has 2 banks, and it has 10 knobs. So it has a lot of functionality. The buttons are pretty dope. They're just as good as what you would know from, and a lot of you all have a Beat Step or a Beat Step Pro. So the Beat Step Pro, same pads on the Keylab 88. Let's talk about what does the Keylab 88 come with. It comes with the USB cable because it is bus powered. You also have on the back side of it, you also have where you can plug in, I think it's a 9-volt power adapter, don't quote me on that. But it won't matter much because this is a controller and you'll be using your USB cable most of the times. However, if you're one of those dudes that actually like to use your hardware sense, like I tend to have hardware sense around, you may want to, and if it's not connected to a computer, because nowadays even most hardware sense have a USB connection to the computer. So if this is connected to the computer already via USB, you won't need that power cord, but you can use it if you just take the computer out of the equation. Plug the 9-volt adapter that you'll have to buy yourself because it's not included, and then you can run, your connections and go ahead and control your sense and stuff that way. A little bit more about the Keylab 88. Obviously, it's 88 keys. It comes with a few software pieces. It comes with Piano Tech, which is like a Stage V5. So that's a Piano Tech Stage keyboard. It also, or synth, I should say. There's a couple things here. I just want to get you the right stuff, so I'm telling you what it comes with. I'll cover up that and show you. So that's the Keylab there. It has this MIDI control center, so you can actually go in and set it up any way that you want to control anything that you want it to control. And it comes with 3 bits of software. So those 3 bits of software, one is Arturia software, and that's the Analog Lab, and that has 6,000 presets from all of the Arturia V collection, like some of the illest presets from the Arturia V collection. Now, you can roll with that, and that'll get you started. You'll have massive loads and loads of stuff to play with. Now, I'll tell you, being that these are weighted keys, that they feel so right being played with the other 2 softwares that come with it, and that is, like I said, the Piano Tech, True Modeling, Piano Tech piano, and then the other thing is the UVI Grand Piano Model D. Sounds so great. I'm telling you, it sounds great. Now, getting back to these keys, these are some of the best keys that I felt. So well, whatever. All right, so obviously there's a lot better players out there, and what'll happen is what you'll tend to realize is that these are some pretty premium keys. It's got good action on it. They're weighted throughout. It's not the type that are kind of light on the high end and a little heavier on the low end. The sound obviously is, but these are weighted throughout, so you get the same weight across the board. I think they're definitely more weighted than my vintage Rhodes that I have here. In my opinion, they're even a little more weighted than a grand piano that I've played just recently. But they feel great. They have good action. And pardon my playing. I mean, I'm just... Hey, yo. So, Here we have, obviously, you can see right up the top here, it's the Keylab 88. This is the Analog Lab software. There are massive amounts of presets. Uh, you'll notice you have this kind of GUI up here that you can click on the synth that you want. I think right now I'm on the Prophet 5, now on the SimV, the Matrix 12. You can just go around and click on those things, and obviously these things are mapped right to it. And you can see I'm messing with the envelope attack here. And we could choose another kind of sound. Go up and down in the octaves. So I'm on the Jupiter 8 now. I can choose the Moog modular. I have dope bass. You can take a look. This is a pretty massive board, actually. The screen, you know, they're rolling with the digital readout screen here. This is Keylab 88. It has a couple of knobs on this side. One's for the volume, the other's for parameters, and another one for value. You could flip that to shift down to the categories, presets. Right over on this side, it has the pitch wheel and the modulation wheel. And you can also, even though it has 88 keys, as you can see, it has 88 keys, you can still, you know, go up in the octaves. You can go up in the octaves, a couple of clicks, and you can go down in the octaves, a couple of clicks. No light means that it's right dead in the center. It has 10 knobs right here. That's bank 1 and bank 2. I presume that means there's 20 knobs. And then there's these buttons where you can do, you know, recall, store, global, curve, all those different settings that you can actually go into and change according to the way you work. Easy enough to hit edit, and then those are activated. You know, you can see the screen changes with them, right? So you can actually change all that stuff according to whichever button or parameter you want to change or edit. And you can just toggle back and forth in there like that. Otherwise, what you're doing is you have these buttons where you can recall snapshots. The cool thing about the Keylab series is that it has all these obviously controller knobs right on board here, where you can control your soft synths, you can control other hardware synths, and that's what kind of makes it a little magical. When it comes to the Arturia stuff, these things are automatically mapped. So when I'm playing, say, Analog Lab, which I'll get a chance to show you here in a second, or any of the other Arturia softwares, these things are mapped already, which makes it pretty dope. So, you know, you're going into the filter here, then, you know, the ADSR, the amp envelope, so forth and so on. You got your transport controls, right? So these things can be pretty easily set up so that you can control your DAW. And if you're a player and you just kind of look at this overall, it's a pretty dope setup. And as you can see, I got a couple of other things just sitting on the music stand here, which comes detached. If you look here, the music stand actually comes detached. Look a little closer. This actually lifts up and off. So give you an idea of what you could do, you know, if you read music, you play music, it's obviously good for you to put your book of music there and read your sheet music. Or, you know, if you're like me, you got a couple other small tabletop synths laying around or that you use, you can actually put those there and play them with the keys, right? And it makes it easier because your controls are just right there. Then it has the pads. Let's see. So yeah, it has the pads there. And what I'm gonna do, I mean, so as far as pads go, they're not bad. I don't think they're bad at all, as a matter of fact. Right? Let's see what we got here. So, yeah, I'll get some direct audio on that, but that's the deal. These are the pads, and you can see they light up blue as you hit them, so they're pressure sensitive, obviously. And because I have the BeatStep Pro sitting right next to it, I can actually tell that those are the same buttons that are on the BeatStep Pro, same pads. Not bad pads, actually. I can tell you, if for me being a synthesizer enthusiast that uses software, DAWs, all kinds of different things, but my primary focus is pads. For instance, the MPC. There are no MPC pads, no, they're not, but they're more comfortable than other machines that I've seen and other controllers. So they work pretty well, and they're pretty easy to touch. You can get into that and throw samples on them and whatnot. Let's see what else we got here. Right? So you can do what you do as a beat maker right on this keyboard. And the cool thing about it is that there's a lot of flexibility in having these things pre-mapped, and the fact that it's a basic controller in the sense that you can map it to what you need it to map to in your DAW of choice, or to control your synthesizer of choice. Right? And what's a plus here is that you get a couple of ledges on the back. This piece, I'll just move this up a little bit. This piece actually detaches just like the sheet music stand detaches. And you can see how big the sheet music stand is. If you have an idea of how big these are, I'll just do this. So for the people who I appeal to would know how big a piece of vinyl is. That's 12 inches, right? So it's probably pretty close to 22 inches or so. Could even be 24 inches even. So that's about how big that stand is. And then you have this laptop kind of stand that extends this real estate on the side here. So that extends out a little bit. And lo and behold, as I was talking to a homeboy of mine, one of the fam, he's like, yeah, this thing fits perfectly. I don't know if that was planned or not, but yeah, it does. It fits perfectly right in there, the BeatStep Pro. Also, your laptop would fit pretty nicely on there. You could even get a couple of different things fitting on there, right? You can also put neat little stands of effects pedals and stuff on there. That works out too. So that's that. And so what about the keys? The keys. So I'm kind of doing this one hand, but you get an idea. You can see the action on these guys right here. Little snap back. Now, I've played like quite a few synthesizers and pianos and stuff. Not long ago, I was fortunate enough to go into this huge legendary studio, and they had this big Yamaha grand piano in there. And I sat there and just kind of touched the keys with my limited ability, even on those grand piano keys, and it sounded dope, obviously. But the feel of it is something that you just don't know if you've never played or touched a grand piano. And then so I come back to this guy over here, right? My vintage Rhodes, and you can see what the action is like on that. It kind of bounces back. It's pretty sweet. This lives somewhere in between that grand piano and my vintage Rhodes. Now, the reason I say that is because when I play this, I can honestly say actually these keys feel even a little more weighted than what I played on that grand piano. And I'll give you the length and stuff in the written interview or the written review. But long story short, these keys feel great. I went through a whole thing for a couple years trying to, test out all the weighted keyboards out there. And I was pretty stuck on a couple of them. And one of them that I really dug was the Korg SV1. Because of the way it was kind of like a hammer fall type of deal, which basically means things are like at the higher end of the keyboard, the keys are a little lighter. And at the lower end of the keyboard, the keys are a little heavier. Now, this doesn't really conform to that sort of standard because that's the way it works too also on the actual Rhodes, because it's physical. The physical components inside of it are hitting heavier devices, and you may feel a little more weight on those, or you may have to hit them a little harder in order for the hammer to react and hit that time the way it should. So this is not necessarily engineered that way, so you're not going to get that kind of feel. But as far as weighted keyboards go, this joint is probably one of the best that I've felt. But the weight is pretty evenly distributed across all 88 keys. And let me back up a little bit so you can get an idea of just how large this thing is. Like I said, in the written review, I'll let you know what the actual dimensions are. But we can take a look right here and just see that the breadth of this thing. So yeah, that's the Keylab 88. And one thing that I can say that I don't really dig, if I could change anything, it would be, from a design aesthetic, the thing is flawless. I really like it. Metal construction, through and through, metal construction. They went through a lot of trouble to make sure that this thing was well constructed. Right? But what I don't understand is why go through so much trouble to make a quality instrument that's so well constructed if you're going to put wood-like, right? Wood-like, wood ends. So these are composite wood, I believe. Like, yeah, it's not, this doesn't seem like it's wood. I'd hate to be wrong. I don't want to get this wrong, but this doesn't seem like solid wood. It's, I'm going to go out on a limb and just say that it's not solid wood. Now, that would be dope if they did put solid wood. So, I don't know about the whole wood look, wood ends, but that's cosmetic, right? It still looks good. It's just not the authentic wood like something like this. But then again, you know what you're paying for. You get some really great keys here, and you get all metal construction. So that's just a small thing. Another little thing is all of my problems have to do with the wood ends and this section here. So I would, if I could, when playing, it's not really a problem because the board is so massive, but when playing and you want to do the modulation, it's kind of up away from the keys. So you find yourself doing stuff like that. right, while you're playing, or maybe a more orthodox player may not have much of a problem, but it would be dope if these mod wheels were along the side here. Now, mind you, they would have had to make that maybe another 1.5 inches wider. So I know they're trying to conserve space and get the best specs on space and all of that. So at any rate, that's one thing. And the other thing is, because this thing is already mapped to all this Arturia software, I probably would go the extra step. And if they could make this screen one of those snazzy new color screens like a couple of the other companies are using, that would be dope. So, this is the Keylab 88. Let's go take a look at the software. Save what you're doing. It's kind of like a preset type of deal. So you can put that right there. Then whenever you come back and you hit button number 6, it's gonna load that snapshot for you. You take another one, say right here, and put that on 7. And now those two are loaded. So I hit button 7, or I can hit button 6. Right, so you got your snapshots there. Then you got this guy. These are actually chords. And so alright, so this is B-Boy Tech Report. This is the Keylab 88 review. And check me out next time. Subscribe. Hit me with questions. If I know the answer, I'll certainly answer. If not, I'll try to point you in the direction where you can get the answer. Stay tuned. 2016 is going to be a good year. So, like I said, B-Boy Tech Report. I'd recommend this Keylab 88 and the software that comes with it. So if you in the market, go get that joint. All right? Peace.